Okay, good afternoon. Welcome to Iyun Talina on part of the Greater Yeshiva YouTube. Today we're doing Hilchas Tefillah Siman Sadi Zayin, number 97, Orach Chaim. He's talking about over here halacha. Halacha is in Sif Beis, you're not supposed to spit in the middle of Shemona Esrei. If you have to spit and you're not someone who could put it in your clothing because it's disgusting to you, so then you should spit towards your left side, but not towards your. The preference is to spin back of you. If you can't spin in back, you spit to your left side, not to your right side. So the Ramai asks a question. The Gemara, the Shulchan Aruch says in Siman Kuf Chav Gimel, Orach Chaim 123. We're not there yet. We'll get there maybe in a couple of weeks, hopefully. When you end your Shemona Esrei, you take 3 steps back, right? Which side? You take 3 bows. You bow first to your left side. The reason you bow first to your left side is because we assume when you're davening, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is standing in front of you. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is facing you. He's facing you, so his right side is facing your left side. So therefore, you bow. You're giving honor to Hashem. So you bow to Hashem, Hashem's left side, to your left side, which is Hashem's right side, because you're assuming that Hashem is to your right side, is opposite you, and Hashem's right side is opposite your left side. However, over here, why are you spitting in the middle of Shemona Esrei? Your left side. If that's the strong side of Hashem, you should spit to your right side, which is the weak side of Hashem. So that's what the Ramah is bothered by, and he comes up with some very difficult to answer on very difficult explanation over here. He says basically, based on the Gemara and Sukkah, that the Shechina is really not within 10 tefachim of the ground, so it's not really above your head, basically, and therefore it's only significant when you're taking 3 steps back. That's your makom tefillah, and the Shechina is in your makom tefillah, even though it's not really opposite you. So when you're davening Shemona Esrei, spit to your left side. Hashem's not really there. When you leave the makom tefillah, then you have to accord honor to the place like Hashem was there, even though he's technically not physically right there. If Hashem was physical, I don't understand exactly what this means. I'd like to offer a different solution to this question. I'd like to say it like this, that we say by tefillah dalif me'ata omed, I think it says it in Pirkei Avos, you should know who you're standing in front of. And I've explained many times that the purpose of tefillah is not so much, when we think we're asking Hashem, we're really just giving motivation to ourselves. That's the whole purpose of tefillah, is to contemplate where you are and where you're going and where you can get, what your good attributes are, what your positive attributes are, and how can you use them in an effective way to bring success to yourself in your life. It's not so much, all the things in tefillah are different types of success, different types of things we need or want, but we're trying to figure out how we can use our own kokos to get there, to get to that. Da'al lifnei mi'ata omed, right? You're standing. A lot of times you're standing in front of yourself. You're too far ahead of yourself. A lot of times we don't realize who we are, right? You have to take a step back and look at the forest. Forget about the trees. Look at the forest, right? We're ahead of ourselves. Lifnei mi'ata omed, right? You're standing presently in front of someone, yourself really should a few steps behind. Take a step back and take recalculate, like GPS, recalculate and assess where you are in life and how to use your positive attributes to get further in life, to further yourself and make yourself a better person and be a more successful person. So there's really no Hashem. Hashem's not really in front of you. I don't think we know what Hashem really is. I don't think Hashem is a physical being. Is what we think of as a spiritual, semi-spiritual, semi-physical being. We don't really know what HaKadosh Baruch Hu is. However, at the end of Shemona Esrei, when we take 3 steps back, we do envision that there's HaKadosh Baruch Hu, whatever HaKadosh Baruch Hu is. He's connected, he's opposite us in terms of, like the Gemara says in Megillah, that you have to try your best, right? You have to always make a shtadlus. Mesilas Sharm says, however, you should know that in business or anything, as long as we're not talking about hatzlacha in sharpening your mind in Gemara, that's the only thing that's really in your control. Everything else is siyata d'shmaya. You try your best. Doesn't mean you don't have to try. You have to try your best. However, ultimately it's up to Hashem. So at the end of our tefillah, when we're taking 3 steps back, right, we have to acknowledge that Hashem is part of it. Siyata d'shmaya. We don't really understand how HaKadosh Baruch Hu functions, how HaKadosh Baruch Hu helps us. But we have to recognize Hashem dafka at the end of our tefillah. So the whole tefillah is supposed to be about you, thinking about yourself, how I can make myself a better person. My ishtadlus, what can I do to use my positive traits to further myself in life? However, at the end of the tefillah, you have to recognize, yes, I can do as much as I can, but I recognize that no matter what I do, no matter how hard I try, the only success comes from Hashem. Ultimately, it comes from Hashem. And therefore, at the end of tefillah, you have to recognize Hashem. And then we say Hashem is like opposite you. We don't really understand what that means, but therefore, he's opposite you. So his right side is opposite your left side. So therefore, you bow first to the right side. It's not really because we think Hashem is there. It's just to show that siyata d'shmaya, that these things are above us. Our success is above us. We have to try as hard as we can. But ultimately, it's up to HaKadosh Baruch Hu if we're going to succeed, up to the Shamayim. So that's just the end of tefillah, is just to acknowledge that at the end of the day, no matter how hard we try, no matter how hard we plan, or how hard we contemplate our strengths and plan for the future, it doesn't make a difference, because the only success will lie in the hands of Hashem. That's, I think, the answer to the question. Hope you enjoyed today's shir. See you in the next one.